Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 5. Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya surimata ma shuchaha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. Daivi, transcendental. Sampat, assets. Vimokshaya, meant for liberation. Nibandhaya, for bondage. Asuri, demoniac qualities. Mata, are considered. Ma, do not. Shuchaha, worry. Sampadam, assets. Daivim, transcendental. Abhijatah, born of. Asi, you are. Pandava, O son of Pandu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Please repeat. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Purport. Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demoniac qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demoniac because he was considering the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. So he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harshness. Therefore, he was not of the quality of the demons. For a Kshatriya, a military man, shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and refraining from such a duty is demoniac. Therefore, there was no cause for Arjuna to lament. Anyone who performs the regulative principles of the different orders of life is transcendentally situated.
So as I said, thank you very much. Nice to be back here again after 4 long months. Nice to see all of you again. Been traveling extensively, this time to India. Also went to Reunion Island. It's quite an experience. Seeing people of different parts of the world. Because in India also, the different cities have got different class of people. So basically, everybody falls under these 2 categories, Devi and Asuri. So Devi means one who is divine, and Asuri means one who is demonic. So there are 2 classes of people. So how do you develop these qualities? It's very important to know. Because generally we don't take notes. So if a person has got divine qualities, then he acts in a saintly manner. So the divine qualities are listed in this place here. You can see 11:25 and 2. I think it's 2:5. So here you see the qualities of goodness. Yeah? These are divine qualities. They explain here. Chant Samodama.
शमोदमस्थितिक्षेक्षा तपः सत्यं दया स्मृतिः तुष्टिस्त्यागो स्पृहा श्रद्धा हरिर्दयादिः स्वनिर्वृतिः काम ईहा मदस्तृष्णा स्तंभ आशीर्भिदा सुखं मदोत्साहो यशः प्रीतिर्हास्यं वीर्यं बलोद्यमः क्रोधो लोभोनृतं हिंसा याज्ञा दम्भः क्लमः कलिः शोकमोहौ विषादार्ती निद्राशाभीरनुद्यमः सत्त्वस्य रजसश्चैतास्तमसश्चानुपूर्वशः वृत्तयो वर्णितप्रायाः सन्निपातं मथो शृणु.
Just read the more of goodness. Just read the goodness.
Mind and sense control, tolerance, discrimination, sticking to one's prescribed duty, truthfulness, mercy, careful study of the past and future, satisfaction in any condition, generosity, renunciation of sense gratification, faith in the spiritual master, being embarrassed at improper action, charity, simplicity, humbleness, and satisfaction within oneself are qualities of the mode of goodness.
So these are all the divine qualities, you see. So a person, how he develops this divine quality, unless he accepts the supremacy of God, it's not possible for one to develop all these good qualities. It's not something that you can do by acting in a morally right way. It's not possible. See, when you do some devotional service, then yes, you develop all the good qualities, you know. I think you were giving. Yes. So you see how these qualities come about. So only when you are associated with a God and especially Krishna, then all these good qualities will come. It is not necessary that if you associate with other so-called gods or demigods, that you will develop such qualities. It's not possible. For example, you can see demons like Ravana, Hiranyakasipu, they were very big demons. They were worshipping the devatas like Lord Shiva. Ravana was a very great devotee of, and Hiranyakashipu was a very great devotee of Lord Brahma. So, although they were worshipping the other so-called gods, demigods, but they did not develop all the good qualities. They cannot develop such good qualities. It's not possible. Only when you go and associate with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then yes, all the good qualities will come about. 5:18. It says here in another place.
Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18-12. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्य किंचना सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुराः हरावभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनासति धावतो बहिः. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man?
So you see here, one who is actually worshipping the Lord, only he develops all the good qualities. But one who is on the mental plane, he cannot develop any good quality. Sometimes they argue, no, if someone is morally right, then he also has got good qualities. But that statement is not accepted here. You can see here in this, for one who is mentally good. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engage in material activities has no good quality. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or honors endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculation. He must engage in the service of the Lord. External energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? It's not possible. So, if in other words, if a person is not Krishna conscious, then he cannot develop any good qualities. You understand? Huh? So therefore, until a person accepts Krishna as all in all, then yes, he will develop all the saintly qualities. You know, one of the first thing is to control the mind, then control of the senses, the truthfulness, Tama, Dhamma, Titikshva, tolerance, all these good qualities will develop. Actually, the good qualities are for the Brahminical quality, they are 12. You can see it below here in this verse, the purport. They are actually, I think, 26 are mentioned here. See? So all the 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava means the devotee of Vishnu. Number one, he is very kind to everyone. He is very kind to everyone. That is not the case with someone who is not. Okay? Then he does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possession. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. You see that number 12? He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very meek. He is steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by the large illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He is very grave. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. He is expert. He is silent. So these qualities, they develop in him automatically the moment he associates with Krishna. Or in other words, when he starts chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. You see the process. We are not just asking you to become, please, join us, Hare Krishna, small group, we need your help, come. No. We are actually, this is knowledge to understand how to actually become successful, how to become a good person, how to become, yes. You understand? And that is means that inside our heart, these qualities must come. You understand this point? It's not an artificial kind of thing, you see. That's why it says in that verse, when you become a devotee of Krishna, you develop all the saintly qualities. Develop all the saintly qualities. You understand? Then when you become saintly, then your chances of, what do we say this now? Vimoksha. Vimoksha means what? Liberation. You get what? Liberation. So everybody wants liberation, right? Who wants to stay here? Anyone want to stay here? Singapore. Where? So think. Nobody wants to stay here. Because it is painful. Material world is described as a painful place. Right? 2 times did Krishna say that. Do you know that? What word is that? 1. 8:16. Sorry, 8:15. You see here, Krishna says this place is Dukhalyam Ashaspatam. Dukhalyam, place of misery. And it is temporary. So you see, Krishna himself is saying, Mam, you want to chant?
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः.
See, Dukhalyam Asaswatam, place of misery. And it is temporary. So you cannot try to, of course, then you may argue, but Prabhu, there's some happiness. Yeah, we don't deny, there's happiness, yes. But a little bit happiness and a lot of misery. Actually, there's another point Prahlad Maharaj is making about this happiness. I think it's 742 or 7942. 7742, you see what is the definition of happiness here? This is what we are, been overwhelmed, with this kind of consciousness.
Srimad Bhagavatam 7.7.42 Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karminah sadapnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukhavritah. In this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin.
See that? This is what is going on, so-called happiness. Yes. And there's a lot of misery. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also said, 9:33, he says. Again, he says here, Anityam Asukam Lokam. See? So you cannot try to change that. You cannot change. You understand? But, see, Anityam Asukam Lokam. This place is, Anityam means it is temporary. And Asukam means what? No happiness, misery. So then how to change this? This is the point. So if you develop the saintly qualities, then yes, when you are with Krishna, then yes, you get to become happy. See? Not only you get happiness, you also go back to the spiritual world. You leave the body. You can see in this verse that you get 266. See here, Krishna says,
Nasti buddhira yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayatah shantir ashantasya kutah sukham. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace?
See that? These are all statements of Krishna, not manufactured by us. So we all are trying to become happy and become successful. Is it not? Anyone wants to be a failure? Nobody. Everyone wants to become successful. But they don't know how to become successful. This is the problem. This is the problem. Because they're trying, as it is said, that once tried to be Ram Rajya without Ram. Possible? Huh? No. So if you really want to become successful, become happy, you have to go to God, Krishna. Then, yes, all the saintly qualities will develop. You will automatically get all this that we have described before. But on the other hand, if you fail to do this, you reject this. This Hare Krishna, waste of time. I have no time for this. I've got many other important things to do. Yes? Suppose I go on that kind of consciousness, then I will develop all the bad qualities, huh? Especially the mode of passion and ignorance. The mode of passion and ignorance, passion starts the moment the sun rises. Huh? That means you wake up after the sunrise. That means you are waking up in the mode of passion and ignorance. Of course, ignorance is at night time. So when you come into that kind of a consciousness, then you will develop all the bad qualities. You can see in 16.4, Arjuna, Krishna is describing the qualities. These are demonic qualities, Krishna is saying here. See?
Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 text 4. Dambho darpobhimanascha krodhah parushyameva cha ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness and ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demoniac nature or son of Pritha.
Is that pride, arrogance, conceit? What is the meaning of conceit?
Excessive
Extremely proud.
self-importance.
Anger, harshness, ignorance. These are qualities that belong to those who are demonic nature. Now we can further elaborate that, we go back to 11:25 to 5. You can see how again these qualities are going to be more thoroughly explained. You can see.
Eleven 25, 2 through 5. So we have read the qualities on the mode of goodness. Now, qualities on the mode of passion. Material desire, great endeavor, audacity, dissatisfaction even in gain, false pride, praying for material advancement, considering oneself different and better than others, sense gratification, rash eagerness to fight, a fondness for hearing oneself praised, the tendency to ridicule others, advertising one's own prowess, and justifying one's actions by one's strength are qualities of the mode of passion.
See this? Instead of developing the saintly qualities, you're going to develop all this kind of qualities. So when you get this kind of qualities, you're going to be happy. Huh? Fighting, quarreling, bickering. Yes? Can you understand this? And that's what's happening to the whole world now, in family, world, everywhere. Yes? Why? Because the mode of passion and of course the mode of ignorance, even worse, intolerant anger, stinginess, speaking without scriptural authority, violent hatred, living as a parasite, hypocrisy, chronic fatigue, always tired. I have to do some work. No, Prabhu, I am tired. Quarrel, lamentation, delusion, unhappiness, depression, sleeping too much, false expectation, fear and laziness constitute the major qualities in the mode of ignorance. You see, all these bad qualities, they come. If you don't become Krishna conscious, if you try to do your own thing, then you're going to become like this. Yes? Hello? Huh? You understand? So it is not that you come to Hare Krishna and no. If you don't take up the process, then all these bad qualities will come. And in this verse today, Krishna says, those who develop these bad qualities, they will not get liberation. They get what? Nirbandha. Yes? You get stuck in the cycle of birth and death. So it is not that we are speaking to you and trying to frighten you on it. This is experiment. You try to do. You don't serve God. You don't chant. You do nothing, and you see what kind of person you transform into. Huh? Yes. You get angry. You're quarreling. You're fighting. How does this come about? Because you are in the mode of passion. Yes. Huh? So if you want to avoid these things, then you must become Krishna conscious. The focal point is the mind. Can you go to 10 to 42? 10 to 42. See, we are, I'll show you here, read this verse. This is spoken by
Sukadeva Goswami.
who?
Sukadeva Goswami.
Huh?
Sri
No,
Shuka
this
Uvacha.
verse is spoken by what's the Devaki? Vasudev.
But this is Shuka Uvacha. No?
Yeah, Sukha Vacha.
Is it 10 to 42 or?
10 to 42 or 10:1:42. Sorry. Go to 10:1:42. This is spoken by Vyasadeva to Kamsa,
This is the one.
Right, yeah. So here he is telling to Kamsa.
Yato yato dhavati daiva choditam mano vikaratmakam panchasu guneshu maya rachiteshu dehyasau prapadyamanah sahatena jayate. At the time of death, according to the thinking, feeling and willing of the mind which is involved in fruitive activities, one receives a particular body. In other words, the body develops according to the activities of the mind. Changes of body are due to the flickering of the mind, for otherwise the soul could remain in its original spiritual body.
So you see, this mind is the focal thing that makes you go to another birth. Yes? Right? So if you don't control your mind and you keep your mind completely in the mode of passion, ignorant, then you see here in this verse, I think it's 565, right? 565.
That's mind, yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't control your mind, this is what you're going to get.
Five, 6, 5 Srimad Bhagavatam. Kamo manyurmado lobha shoka moha bhayadayah karma bandhaschayan moolah svikuriyat konu tad buddha. The mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. Combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind?
See here? And we are 24/7 with our. In fact, we have put a lot of faith in it, no? Yes. What my mind say, it is absolute truth. Yeah. Yes. You see how an uncontrolled mind develops all these bad qualities. And do you think you're going to become peaceful with this kind of consciousness? Huh? And Krishna explained this in the Bhagavad Gita in 262. You see, So everything is connected, you know. You cannot try to say that I don't believe in, I will do my thing. This means that you are what? Under the control of your mind. You understand? You're not controlling your mind. You're under the control of mind. And you're becoming what? Trapped. You think you are independent. This is again another, what we say, ahankar, false ego. You follow? And you act whimsically. You act what? Whimsically. You see? What happens? You see how Krishna is describing.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. (263) क्रोधाद् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
See this point here? You follow? That is not something pleasant, you know. Fall down in material pool means what? Go and take birth and death. In another place, 11, 21, 19.
Srimad Bhagavatam. विषयेषु गुणाध्यासात् पुंसः संगस्ततो भवेत् संगात् तत्र भवेत् कामः कामादेव कलिर्निर्णाम्. One who accepts material sense objects as desirable certainly becomes attached to them. From such attachment lust arises, and this lust creates quarrel among men.
See that point there? That we get into a quarreling nature, fighting. Yes? This doesn't work only in bigger scale, but it works with even a family, you know. Husband, wife. Because the mode of passion becomes prominent. And the mind starts becoming agitated. Then it starts quarreling among men. Next verse.
11:21-20. कलेर्दुर्विषः क्रोधस्तमस्तम् अनुवर्तते तमसा ग्रस्यते पुंसश्चेतना व्यापिनी द्रुतम्. From quarrel arises intolerable anger followed by the darkness of ignorance. This ignorance quickly overtakes a man's broad intelligence.
Hey? Agree or you don't agree? Hello? What? I disagree, Prabhu. This is all nonsense. Yeah? Yes? Next verse.
11:21-21. तया विरहितः साधो जन्तुः शून्याय कल्पते ततोऽस्य स्वार्थविभ्रंशो मूर्छितस्य मृतस्य च. O saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence is considered to have lost everything. Deviated from the actual purpose of his life, he becomes dull just like a dead person.
Hello? That's why it says, if you become demonic, then you end up like this. Yes? Correct? And the focal point is the mind. Yes? Yes? You understand? So this is how we develop all the good or bad qualities. So although the mind is an element in one of the mind is not your mind, you think your mind, but actually this mind is an element that is created by Krishna, 7:4 Bhagavad Gita, you see. Krishna says this mind is created by me. Look. 7:4.
भूमिरापो नलो वायुः खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहङ्कारमिति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together these 8 constitute my separated material energies.
So the mind, intelligence, false ego, all together these 8 constitute my separated material energy. Yes, that belongs to Krishna. And if you want to control your mind, unless you take help from Krishna, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. That Krishna says again in 7:14. I'm sorry, 7:14. What time is finished? 7, 20 minutes. You see here, everyone can chant along with him. It's very nice if you
Bhagavad Gita 7:14. Daivi hesha gunamayi.
Devi hesha gunamayi.
Mama maya duratyaya.
Mama maya duratyaya.
Mame vaye prapadyante.
Maya me.
Maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
See again, if you want to control your mind, unless you surrender to Krishna, this is not possible. Difficult. There is another place Krishna is saying, although this mind is the vicious problem for us, but there's a benefit, And the example is given here in 6:16-24. This example is often by Srila Prabhupada here. You see how the mind, although it's vicious and putting us into a lot of trouble, but it is beneficial. How you can use the mind beneficially? This is explained here.
Dehendriya prana manodhiyomi yadam shavidhaha pracharanti karmasu naivanyada lauhamiva prataptam sthaneshu tadrashtra padeshameti. This is the one?
Yeah.
As iron has the power to burn when made red hot in the association of fire, so the body, senses, living force, mind, and intelligence, although merely lumps of matter, can function in their activities when infused with a particle of consciousness by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As iron cannot burn unless heated by fire, the bodily senses cannot act unless favored by the Supreme Brahman.
See that here? So although mind is a bad thing, but if you engage your mind in thinking of Krishna, then it becomes what? Very beneficial. The example is given like iron. Iron is cold, no? But the moment you heat it up, it acts like fire. This example Prabhupada gives many times. Yes? See the verse here? Yes? 6:16-24. So this is how we can actually become purified. If we engage our mind in thinking of Krishna. That's why 2 times Krishna says, you please think of me. Of course, many times he says, 8th chapter, 9th chapter, 18th chapter. See? Yeah, but these 2 important verses, we'll go 9:34 and 18:65. Krishna is saying, Man mana bhava mad bhakta. They engage your mind in thinking of Me. Yes? See here, you can chant.
Manmana bhava madbhakto
Manmana bhava madbhakto
madhyaji mam namaskuru
madhyaji mam namaskuro
mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam
mame vis yuktaivam
atmanam matparayana.
atmanam matparayana.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
See this? Again Krishna says a second time the same thing. But this time he's saying, you know how you see how he's saying? You can see here.
Manmana bhava madbhakto
Manmana bhava madbhakto
madhyaji mam namaskuru
madhyaji mam namaskuro
mame vaishyasi satyam te
mame vis satyam te
pratijane priyosi me.
pratijane priyosi me. Now he changed the last two lines. Mam evayasti satyam te pratijane priyosi me. What does that two line mean?
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
So Krishna is promising. You understand? It's foolproof. So if you really want to control the mind and develop all the saintly qualities, then there's only one way. What is that way? To think of. So in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to think of Krishna also. Yeah? Easy. Very difficult. So the best way recommended is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. If you chant this mantra very quickly, you will be able to purify your mind. You know, I think it's 20 Antya. And this verse, you see, is spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Huh? Seto Darpanam. We chant every morning, is it? Can chant this.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anjalila 20.12. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step.
See this? So this very simple program. If you just invest a little time every morning, morning is the best time. And you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Very quickly you develop all the saintly qualities. And your going back to the spiritual world is assured. Yeah? Spiritual world. So why not invest in this most important work? Because you have got human body. And this human body is man for realizing God. It's not for any other purpose. All these other things you are doing, like eating, sleeping, mating, defending, this is also, animals also do that. Animals also eat, mate, sleep, defend. So if you do not utilize this body for God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, then there's no difference between the human body and the animal body. You see that? Yes? Dharma meena Pasubhi Saman. So please take this process seriously. And you develop all the good qualities, saintly qualities, and of course you will return home to the spiritual world. But if you don't want to do it, then you will develop all the demonic qualities. And demonic qualities mean again taking. Yes, I think I have explained it clearly enough. Yes. And how you develop these qualities, I also explained that by the what? Mind. Although the mind is the root cause of all problems, it can be used to purify our existence. That's why chanting of Hare Krishna is overly stressed. In fact, there's no other way. There is no. Can you go? 6, 11, 12. I always show this verse everywhere I go. See here, if you think there is another way, then you are making a big mistake. Because you see here, bottom, right bottom. Chants.
Harer Nama, Harer Nama,
Hare Nama, Hare Nama,
Harer Namaiva Kevalam,
Hare Nama Eva Kevalam,
Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva,
Nasteva,
Nastyeva Gatiranyatha.
Nasteva Gatiramyita.
In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way.
You cannot try anything else. I mean, if you think you can, it's not going to work. So, I think I've made myself very clear. Yes? Yes? No? Huh? So, anyone has any questions or anything you want to ask? That's why in the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, the mind can be the best of your friend or your worst. Can be the best friend and the worst enemy. If the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, it becomes best of your friend. But if this mind is engaged in other thing than Krishna, then he'll become your worst enemy. See?
6.6 Bhagavad Gita. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy.
See that? I think you can go to 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Bhagavatam. So Prahlad is telling his father, you know, Prahlad is telling his father. His father is always seeing Vishnu as enemy and the demigod as enemy and so many things. But you see here what the son is telling him.
Jahyasuram bhavamimam tvamatmanah samam manodhatsva nasanti vidvishah rite jitadatmana utpathe sthitat tadhi hyanantasya mahatsamarhanam. Prahlad Maharaj continued, My dear father, please give up your demoniac mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised toward everyone. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly.
See that? Except for the uncontrolled mind, there is no other enemy. So we are thinking, he is my friend, he is my enemy, because of him is nonsense. No. Yes, it's all. So therefore, we need to purify this mind. And we have to chant. Only way. then all good things will come. Actually, this is why people, I see this report, I was reading the so-called health, one Ayurveda book. And I was looking at cancer. So in that cancer thing, one of the cause of cancer is thinking bad of others. So when you have all this enmity in the heart, then it also creates what? Cancer. I was surprised, saying, wow, the fact. So not only you're going to get bad quality, your health is also going to go messed up. That's, so think carefully, because Krishna consciousness is not some kind of a cult where you like you come, you don't like you don't come. It's not a fact. Krishna consciousness is the only way for everybody. That's why Krishna Jivere Swarupa hoy, Krishna re. You cannot change that. All right. I have explained at length. Anyone has any questions or any comments?
See in the live stream.
No questions.
No
questions.
Or live stream?
It's not relevant.
Not relevant. Okay.
It's
So, okay, I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be of some use. Thank you again. And if you feel shy that you don't want to ask this question or whatever, they're all our devotees here. They all are very competent. You can always talk to them and get more clarification if you need in anything. And in this way, make your life spiritually successful. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I think we're going to have the last arati. We're going to see the Lord. And why the Lord is very important? Because unless you surrender to the Lord, it's difficult to get the mind purified. You understand? That's why the chanting and the seeing of the Lord, worshipping of the Lord is two important things. Yes? Two important things. What is it? 1651, is it? 1651. Is that? I think so. 1651. So two things are very important. See here. Is that correct? 1651?
yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.16.51 Aham vai sarva bhutani bhutatma bhuta bhavanaha shabda brahma param brahma mamo bheshashvati tanu. All living entities, moving and non-moving, are my expansions and are separate from me. I am the super soul of all living beings who exist because I manifest them. I am the form of the transcendental vibrations like Omkara and Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And I am the supreme absolute truth. These two forms of mine, namely the transcendental sound and the eternally blissful spiritual form of the deity, are my eternal forms. They are not material.
So these two things are very important. The deity worship and the chanting of Hare Krishna. You understand? So okay, we will have the Arati now, I think. We will chant Hare Krishna. Please come forward, take darshan and chant.